Welcome to Camp Chaos, where we celebrate the wild ride of modern womanhood.
Join us as we dish on motherhood, life's ups and downs, and all things pop culture that we know you want to talk about.
With special guests and expert insights, we're here to empower you through the chaos of everyday life.
Consider this your ultimate escape from the hustle and bustle. And as always, parental guidance suggested.
Camp is now in session. Welcome back to Camp Chaos for a very special episode. Our men, our baby daddies, our husbands are here. Gus and Drew, welcome to Camp Chaos.
We made it.
You know, I do have to say, though, this is like the highest ass guest to be on.
No, really? Every time we're like Q&A, who do you want us to interview? It's always like,
your husbands. Like an overwhelming response of your husbands, which we are a little terrified of as to why. I don't know what the audience wants to know, but I hope you guys deliver. And if you do good, as you see, we do have 4 mics, so you guys can have a permanent seat on Camp Chaos.
Great. I'm so excited.
You're thrilled. I will say we did have to cancel this already once, rescheduled. Gus told me 3 times today, please just cancel it if you know what's good for you. But here we are. So without
thrilled to be
further ado, welcome.
Thank you. We made it. Good morning. We'll see if we make it out.
Well, you know the question that everybody wants to know, which I don't really know that it's like that crazy interesting, at least for us, but everybody wants to know how we met. Like you and Kyndra, Drew, and myself. So why don't you
Not
guys,
the 4 of us
not
together.
the 4 of us together.
Yeah.
So Gus, how did you meet Kyndra?
In Vegas. It was a beautiful Memorial Day weekend, and here we are 12 years later.
Oh, no, literally.
There's
It's
no
right after Memorial Day.
Are you not going to give any color to that story?
And I walked up to her,
You didn't walk up. You were sitting in a chair.
and her eyebrows just were so stunning that I couldn't resist myself.
Do you know that she said that that's the best compliment she's ever gotten?
Still to this day.
Still to this day is you complimenting her
You know
eyebrows.
why? Okay, because Anastasia's eyebrow kit had just come out. This is 2013, keep
Right,
in mind.
it's
And
a
I
big
was like
deal.
so into stenciling them. And he complimented. I was like, thank you so much for noticing. However, the first words out of my mouth to him were, you are a douchebag. But now here we are 12 years later, still a douchebag, still have great eyebrows. Just kidding.
And still married.
And still married. Okay, Drew, question for you. How did you guys meet?
I mean, ours wasn't that exciting, I don't think. But I think the funniest part of our story is we have, I think, 2 different sides of our story. We originally met in 2008.
Yeah.
I was in college, freshman in college. I think you had been deferred to SC. It was my first football season at SC. And me being like the token white safety DB from Northern California, they were like, who are you going to roommate with? And so they put me with...
And you said Taylor
No, they
Felix?
put me with a couple Orange County guys, like Mater Dei guys.
Ah.
And so my roommates were Mater Dei guys at the time. And one of them was dating Taylor's friend
Yeah.
from high school.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't even involved in the planning, but he ended up inviting, I think, the girls and some other mutual friends from Mater Dei came to our Century freshman apartment in 2008 when we were
Babies.
babies. But we were just, I mean, that was like when we were drinking gross stuff. We were drinking
Well,
like,
but I think
Drew
that-
had like literally a handle of
drinking, like,
Captain Morgan,
Captain Morgan.
and a liter
Oh
of
my
Coke.
God.
like vanilla Coke. Like, gross.
Oh, okay. So if we go out next week and we know what to bring you.
No, absolutely not.
I think what the cutest part about your story is, though, is that she's a song girl and you were a football player.
She wasn't a song girl yet.
I wasn't
Oh, you
yet.
were?
No, so
No,
literally,
I
so
wasn't
this
at
was just
SC
through,
yet.
this is through mutual friends.
Oh,
So she
she
came
did
up-
tell me a different story.
I did?
No, well, I mean,
Oh,
a
later.
song girl. I think
Later.
I got the color.
So then that was like 2008. So we ended up going out that night and we ended up talking a little bit, like off and on, dated. And once you got to SC, dated off and on a little bit. And then we ended up having separate relationships. And then it wasn't until the fall of 2012, which was my last football season, because I was there 4.5 years. I had a medical redshirt year. So it was that last fall. And I think one of my friends at that time was dating one of the song
Oh,
girls.
that's right. Wow,
And
you're
so-
giving more detail than I expected.
Or that you remember.
Yeah.
And so we all got invited to a party that I think she was throwing or like hosting or
Yes.
something. So I don't know. I like tagged along with him. And unbeknownst to me, I think like you were pissed that I was even there.
Right.
As you were like, I was just like totally oblivious, but it's stupid college kid. Just didn't even realize that the situation, but ended up reconnecting that night. And I was like, damn, this girl is
Going to be my
gorgeous.
wife.
I'm like,
Oh.
this is going to be my wife. And you like, we're not having any of it. Like I remember what you were wearing. You were wearing like a blue sequence.
Oh
It's like
my
blue sequence
God.
dress.
I hope you still have
We
it in
went
the
out.
archives.
We
No,
went
I
out
didn't
and like
guess that.
I wanted to reconnect, and like you weren't really having any of it after that, and like I kept trying
I love that.
Yeah.
for a while. Like
You know what?
I was
There-
trying really, really hard.
There is something to say about why men love bitches, because he like really went over this story very quickly of how we met. But we met Memorial Day. Our first date wasn't until August. Like he was calling me for 3 months. And I'm like,
Every day.
every day. I'm like, you're in Chicago. I'm in Laguna Beach. Stop calling me. Or I would call him and then hang up really fast. So he
Persistent.
would just get a missed call.
Persistence.
And he'd call me. He's like, I know what you're doing. I'm like, oh my God, leave me alone.
Persistency is key.
Key. Yeah. Squeaky wheel got
But
the
I think
grease.
you were like, I didn't realize it, but you were kind of upset like how things had ended, like
Right,
previous to that, and I was just oblivious to the situation, just being a dumb college kid. And so then I was trying really hard, and then you didn't really want it, and I'm like, damn, this girl is really making me work hard. And so I was already graduated, but we had a comm class together, so I was like literally just using that to tag around and hang out with you.
Aw.
Like I literally wouldn't even bring a notebook to class. I
He's
don't
like,
think at
do
that
you have
point.
a
You're like,
pen?
I am actually
I'm like,
going
"Do you have a
to."
pen?" I'm like,
Why
"I
are
need-
you in class?
Like, I need
No
to
for
grab-
you.
No paper.
I was literally already
Aw.
graduated, so it didn't matter. And I just found like every moment to try to be around you. And then eventually I was like, I'm really falling for this girl. And I'm like, I need to ask her, like, this needs to be formal. So I asked her, I'm like, I wanted you to be my girlfriend. And you told me no.
I did?
You said no like twice. And then I
You
finally, I
must have been
kept
really
asking. And
pissed.
I think you
Yeah.
finally were like, all right, this guy's bugging me enough. Like, I'm going to give him a chance. Plus, you knew I was already done after that semester. So it's like, there wasn't that much risk.
There was
in
an
it.
end. There was
There
an
was an
ending
end
point.
point,
Yeah.
and so
This
like
is an
she
easy
could have been
out.
out after a couple
Yeah.
of months, but like then that was 2012.
Yeah, we started dating fall of 2012, officially.
That was 2012. So this many years later, that was the origin story.
Wow, everybody got the
Wow.
story that they wanted.
Yeah, they really did.
Yeah.
I love
that's
that.
right. You
Okay,
remember
what do you
more.
guys remember most about our early days of dating? Gus, what do you remember?
Very exciting,
Oh.
energetic.
Don't tell us all the things you miss about her.
It's not the same anymore, but
Different kind of energy is given. No, but like, okay, so we met and he's 17 years my senior. So of course I had more energy,
Of course.
right? You're running around with a 23-year-old.
For sure.
And you were 40.
I'm sure
I mean-
you did too.
Yeah.
I did. Yes, I did. It was fun.
What were like your date nights? Or like, what did you guys do for fun? Because we had no kids, so we had no worries.
We had so much fun.
Late dinners.
Right.
What did we do? Travel
Traveled
whenever we want.
whenever we want, wherever we want, spontaneous. It was great. Now there's a lot more planning that's got to go into that, for sure.
I know. I feel like we were talking about it this morning. Like our early days was, what happy hour are we going to go to today? What movie should we see tonight? Like not
Not a
worry
care in the world.
in the world.
Well, and we did 6 months of long distance. So it was like very exciting. Like, let's meet in Chicago. Okay, now you're coming to Laguna. Let's go to New York. Like every weekend was
Wow.
somewhere that we were going for the first 6 months. And then he always tells the story that he's like, okay, like this is getting more serious. So we had to have like a home base. Do you want to tell the story?
But my favorite place was Turks and Caicos. That was our favorite trip.
Yeah,
Oh.
it was like we had some good
That was
trips.
the
Like
best.
the first 6 months, I was like, it was much more exciting. Of course, now we're like here.
That's where we got engaged.
Yeah, really? Oh my
Turks and Caicos,
God.
yeah.
How cute. Okay. And then we're like, we have to have a home base. So he's like, let's get a place here in Laguna. So we were like,
Wait,
right-
after how long of dating?
like 6 months?
It was maybe even, approximately 6 months.
Okay. So tell the story.
And at that point in my head, I'm thinking, all right, you got to put on your landlord hat. And this is going to be a short-term lease. And it's going to have no more than a 6-month term.
Meaning me. I'm
You are the short-term lease.
I just want to wait for something wrong to happen. I'm looking for her to make a mistake,
Yeah.
catch her doing something wrong. And 6 months later, the lease was up. And it was time to either extend or depart or move on. And we extended for another 6 months or a year.
The
I think it was
landlord's
about,
like, I'm sorry, sir, can you just sign your lease? He's like, no, I need 6 months. I'm like,
and I think
didn't understand.
we might have signed about, I think it was another year lease or 6-month extension. And then I think after a year and a half, we decided, all right, I think this might work. And went,
Unbeknownst to me that it was that timeline.
moved on and moved to Newport Beach.
Oh my God.
Then here we are.
Wait, how long after you guys were dating did you get engaged?
5 years? A long time.
5 years. Again, I was waiting for the lease to end. Still looking for some sort of
He's looking
termination clause, and it didn't happen.
I behaved.
Still hasn't
Jeez, I'm
happened.
like,
What's happening now?
add 2 children,
Stand it
right?
out, baby.
Oh my God. Okay, Drew, what were the early days like for you?
The
Other
early-
than chasing her like crazy.
Those were like the really early days, but the early days, I think, for us was totally different because we were both focused on career, and I had roommates at the time, so I was living in Newport Beach, and so because
I was living at home.
Tay was living at home, so it was like even like when I first started to get into business and commercial real estate, like I was basically couch surfing, and one of the couches I would sleep on was your parents.
Yeah.
The fact that Mike and Debbie were like, yeah,
No, I was literally on the couch.
I love that.
Couch. There was bedrooms, but I'm like, how do I get as close to her as possible without actually being in the room? It was the couch.
Oh
Yes,
my God.
It was
Very
the couch in
simple
that sitting room.
Yeah, my parents were like, don't even think about going near her bedroom because you have 3 younger siblings and that's just not allowed.
It's not happening.
It's not allowed.
Wow. Now we're all just trying to go back to Mike
I mean,
and Debbie's
those were
house.
like the early days. And then just, I remember us like focused on career, and I mean, I'd work super late nights, but then we didn't have any other responsibilities. So it was like, we were literally just, we would travel, we go do like date night weekends, trips to San Diego or whatever. Like we would just go, I don't know.
Yeah, if there's any advice for like the younger selves before kids, it's like just really enjoy it because
Yeah, but
there
it's
isn't
hard
any
to
point.
like enjoy it then. Like
Yeah,
I feel
because
like
you're,
I
like,
didn't enjoy
you're-
it then. I was
Well,
like,
and like you're making yourself. You didn't
Another
have, like, the
dinner at 9
means.
p.m.
Yes, I
How
know.
annoying. Now I'm like, wow, I would kill for that. And
Okay,
to go home. and
But we would
sleep.
have friends over literally until like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now that sounds like punishment. I'm like
Well, now I'm
10
like-
o'clock.
No,
we
now
are in
it's-
bed.
I'm turning the lights off.
Yeah.
I'm pulling the vacuum out. Get out of my house.
Now,
Okay.
now you just have to start early.
Drew, what was the point when like you realized like, okay, this is going to be long term. Like this could be. I mean, was it in SC? Like this is
Yeah,
going to be my
it was
life?
at SC. It for sure was at SC the second time at SC before we actually first started really truly dating.
Which
I
is
was like,
young. Like that's young to be like, oh,
yeah,
this
we were
could
still
be,
like
this
kind of
could be my
finishing
girl.
college. You know, and I didn't have a job really coming out of college, so trying to figure out all that stuff. But you know, then even that fall, I started to go because you would go back home on weekends sometimes.
All the time.
And then we would have one day off a week from practice. And so during that time, I got introduced to your parents, I think that fall.
Yeah.
Very early.
That was very scary. Also, Drew had diamond earrings and tattoos, and my parents were like,
Oh, yeah.
interesting.
"Who
Are we
did
going to
you
bring back the
home?"
diamond earring?
No.
I could probably pop them through
No.
stuff.
Let's pop them through. I just popped Zoe's through. I could do yours.
I remember my sister was like, yes, tattoos and
I mean, I'm
earrings."
okay with
I
like
was
a few tattoos.
Debbie
Gus
had
would
me
be like,
get-
no tattoos.
Debbie had me get rid of the earrings.
My
like,
mom made
within-
him take the earrings
She's like,
out.
those are coming out.
Yeah.
She would just, she was like on me
So
about
you
it.
had to
She would
glow
make
up with the
She would make
feelings.
jokes about it. Like, I don't know, every time I saw her. And so finally I'm like, I'm not dealing with this
Well,
anymore. I'm gonna take them out.
I do think when you meet somebody, you like have a makeover on them. Like when I met Gus, he was wearing neon orange Nike sneakers and True Religions and a shirt that said Gucci across. I was like, okay, that not the first night, like our first date. I was like, well, we're
That
gonna
was
have
the
to.
style.
No. This was like, okay, so this is 2013. True Religions had been out since like 2010. Like they were 3 years. I mean, maybe not in Chicago, but definitely here they were out. I was like, we need to redo all of this. We did, right?
We did, yes.
We still,
We have had a
And here we are again
makeover
today.
and to glow up.
yeah.
So you made Kyndra wait 5 years for the ring.
God.
At what point were you like, okay, I am gonna propose, or was Kyndra like, you better propose?
She kept bugging me, pleading with me that I had to commit. And
Well, shit, or get off the pot. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, we were about the same point. at
Yeah,
5
like,
years.
what are we doing?
What are we doing?
Especially you're an old man. Like, what are we doing? This is not like you're 25 years old, finding yourself. Like, you are a grown ass man. If you want this, and like he had kids in Chicago, a family in Chicago. We are living here. Like, what are we doing this or are we not?
Yeah, those are bigger stakes.
Sorry. Is this therapy?
Where were we, guys?
Well, we committed after 5 years. I knew she was the one. And I wanted to
Lock it down.
lock it down
Yeah, that's right.
before the lease terminated. I'm going to keep going back to the lease, or the lease ended. But Yeah, committed
Before you had to do any tenant improvements.
Those are still ongoing. She has learned a little bit about real estate.
Yeah, she has. She knows
Don't
the
forget
proper
it.
lingo.
I do.
We both do.
Yeah. After 5 years, I knew the timing was perfect, and I knew the timing was right. It was right before the end of the year, right before any tax liabilities would end. And again, it was just, or that was when before we got married. Yes.
Yeah, he proposed on Christmas Eve. And we were having like a good ass time. So much fun. It was raining. My whole family was there. I never have red nails. Have you ever seen me with red nails?
No.
I had red nails. We were doing karaoke to Michael Bolton. And then all of a sudden he got down on one knee. I was like, what are you doing? I have like 4-day-old hair and a broken red nail. And I mean, the ring was worth all the catastrophe. And it was so sweet and so exciting having my whole family there. But I definitely thought like knowing Gus, and now you know Gus, like for Zane's gender reveal, he had a helicopter. Like,
right.
I was for sure thinking like
the helicopter was going to drop the diamond from the sky.
Yes, like trick or treat. Like, what is happening? This is my scavenger hunt. But I will say, like, it was very intimate and very sweet, and like not necessarily on brand for him, but it was like the best proposal.
Did you tell anybody before?
I did ask permission from her dad. Met with her dad, let him know that I was going to be proposing, and if he would allow me to take his daughter's hand. And God bless him, he said, "Of course, you're the man."
Aww.
And he said, "I know what you're going through." So,
yeah. Well, it's so funny because my dad like loved Gus from the beginning, and I'm like, it'd be so easy to hate him. Like 3 kids, divorced, 17 years older. But my dad was also married twice before my mom, 20 years older than my mom. Like there was so much like parallel, worked in like somewhat similar, in real estate and as a developer. And I feel like he saw so much of himself in him. And it was like, I was my dad's 9th kid. So it was like, he always rooted for him. I'm like, why don't you just hate him a little bit?
I remember you said that.
Like,
why does my dad love Gus so much?
I know. I'm still like, Dad, why did you love him so much? Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I've always felt like I'm pretty in tune with my body. But as a mom, I realized I couldn't just keep guessing. I wanted to know what was really going on inside. That's why I joined Function Health. And it has completely shifted how I think about my health. Function gives you access to over 160 tests that look at everything: your hormones, your thyroid, your heart, your liver, inflammation, even toxins and nutrient levels. It's way more than just your standard checkup, which, by the way, only covers about 19 biomarkers. With Function, I finally got a full picture of my health, not just what's fine, but what could be optimized. One thing that's really stood out to me, I saw exactly how stress was impacting and why I've been feeling a little bit more drained and sluggish and fatigued than usual. It gave me a real insight about how I can start supporting myself better, especially in the nonstop season of motherhood. And Function doesn't just push supplements or prescriptions, it's clear, unbiased data so you can make an empowered decision. So it's $4.99 a year and it includes 2 full rounds of testing. These same tests could be up to $15,000 through traditional routes. And right now, you can get up to $100 off your membership by going to functionhealth.com/campchaos. But hurry, it's only the first 1,000 listeners. That's functionhealth.com/campchaos. Come take control of your health with me. I promise you will never regret it.
Okay, you've heard us rave about ZBiotics pre-alcohol probiotic drink. I have super exciting news. Their team just released another product to help get more fiber into your diet without changing what you eat. Fiber diversity supports a balanced gut microbiome, yet only 5% of Americans get enough fiber in their diet. If you're like me, it's probably because it's really hard to do. That's why I started using ZBiotics Sugar to Fiber probiotic drink mix every day. The PhD microbiologists over at ZBiotics understand that 95% of Americans don't get enough fiber. So they genetically engineered a probiotic drink mix called Sugar to Fiber. Sugar to Fiber turns sugar in the foods I eat into a prebiotic fiber called leave-in fiber. It's really hard to get leave-in from a typical diet, and it helps to improve the amount and diversity of fiber my body receives. I started drinking ZBiotics sugar to fiber because I like having a way to get closer to my daily recommended dose of fiber without needing to change my diet. It's super easy. Every day I just put a pack of sugar to fiber in my morning water, and I just love knowing I'm supporting my gut health with this routine. I think I've said it before, but gut health is super important to me, and we've talked about it on this podcast. That's why I'm adding ZBiotics sugar to fiber to my daily routine this summer. It's a really easy change to make, and it helps ensure that I'm getting the diversity of fiber my body needs. So go to zbiotics.com/camp and use code CAMP at checkout for 15% off any first-time orders of ZBiotics probiotics. ZBiotics has a 100% money-back guaranteed, so if you're unsatisfied for any reason, which you won't be, they will refund your money, no questions asked. Thank you, ZBiotics, for sponsoring this episode.
That's so sweet. It's so funny how the proposals, I feel like the way Drew proposed was not at all on brand for the way. Like, I thought he was going to have like my family there and do it like something we're in USC. I don't know. I thought it was like going to be a football game or something.
You're like, if it was going to be the way that I would have told you to do it.
Right. Or just like more on brand for us as a couple
Yeah,
of
but
the same
it's
thing.
nice that it's not.
No, it was. It was like a way just us two.
Yeah, that's sweet.
That's why I did it.
On the beat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. No, it all makes sense,
I was-
you know.
It
I
all
wanted
makes
you to be
sense
surprised.
now.
Let's get into being dads and family men.
So obviously, fast forward all like these decades later, which feels like a lifetime. What about Taylor and I stepping into the role of being a mom has surprised you most, or what do you like admire most about watching us become moms?
Do you want to take this or?
I went from being number 1 to number 3.
4
list.
on the bad
4,
days.
4,
The
correct.
dog's about sometimes.
French Bulldog is one step ahead of me. You're loving, caring. Kids are the love that you show for the kids is undescribable.
Okay, but wait a second. What about like the effort I had to become a mom? That's what I thought you were going to say. How
Yep.
hard I fucking worked my
I'm
ass off
sorry.
to become a
Rewind.
mom. Edit back. Here's the
you
script.
You want to try again?
Let's go again. Like, what about like the determination to become a mom?
Yeah, the IVF to
There
get
you go.
to
Back
get
on track. Just kidding.
to get to go through the process, 1,000+ shots.
How many of those shots did you give me?
One, and that one's on
And
video.
he was gagging. He's like, ugh. I'm like, are you okay back there? He's like, oh, I can't do this.
Yeah, the determination to make it happen, even in the delivery room, losing 2 liters of blood.
4,
and
but
then-
who's counting?
and then having to go into surgery twice, back to
What a
back.
sacrifice. There you go.
Yes, amazing.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Just want to make sure we said it right.
That's where we were.
Yeah.
Back on track.
He flatlined there for a little bit. Come back to life. Drew, what about Taylor? I know that there's going to be a novel. So
No.
give me the cliff
No,
notes of what
there's
makes
not.
Taylor the most amazing mother.
Yeah, the cliff notes.
I don't. Being a mom is hard. I just think it takes so much work and like perseverance on a day-to-day basis, just raising children and kind of giving up your own sense of self at times. I think it's hard not to lose yourself during that whole time. And we've had back-to-back kids, so it's like just seeing you persevere through all of that and jumping right back on the saddle, each one.
Literally. Literally and figuratively said saddle is Drew jumping back on. Not sure. You guys know there's birth control. Wait, perseverance. I love that because I feel like we get knocked down on our feet, like, or on our ass 27 times a day and you have to get back up. Like these little kids humble you very quickly.
Oh my God.
Hard. Like, so I see the wake ups in the middle of the night and like even little things like breastfeeding's hard. Like you have your pump on all the time. So like you just don't slow down.
That pump is a part of your relationship.
It is. It's third wheel for sure. But just seeing you persevere through all of that, I think to me is one of the greatest gifts, just being able to watch you go through that. Cause I couldn't.
Well, while we're on this like subject, I feel like a lot of the conversation is like the load that we take on as moms, but like I'm curious to know what load you feel like you take on as dads, because I think there is a certain load that's like not talked about of like
Gus is like, do you want to go
where
get
do
the
I
stack
begin?
of bills?
No, but that's what I mean.
This is
Like
a
that
trick
part
question.
of no, it's not a trick question. I mean this truthfully. Like there is something. Well, we just talked about it. Like the financial aspect of like keeping a home alive is very
Keeping this shit
stressful.
afloat,
yeah.
Especially in Newport Beach.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gus is always like, "Do you know how much it costs to fund this fun lifestyle you have?" I'm like, no. I don't."
Yeah. So
Yeah.
let us know like what
We're very privileged.
we're very privileged, but like
Our
that
children
comes
are,
at a
yeah.
cost to you guys. It's a different cost than like what we experience as moms. But what do you guys experience?
Drew, you want to go first? Go
No,
ahead. I'll let
you go.
I mean, the
first.
financial aspect is one thing, right? I mean, but I think trying to find. I mean, you were a dad before, so this is like with these three is my first go around with being a dad. But just finding like at least for me personally, is finding the balance between, being a dad and being present for them, and also being the financial provider for the family, and making sure that you're making the correct choices and sacrificing when you need to be sacrificing versus when like you're making an active decision to give up maybe something financially to be there a little bit more in support of the kids or help you or whatever it is. I think trying to find that balance can be like, that's a difficult balance, I think, for anybody.
Yeah.
Last night it was 7:45. I'm like, the kids are going to bed. He's like, I just got home. Keep them up. I'm like, oh, okay. All right. Because he leaves the house early and comes home late at times.
Yeah.
Well, and not to start answering for Gus, but when he had how old were you when you had your first?
24.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Do the math. I think you were younger.
24 plus 29 is 53.
But you're not 53. You're 52.
Yes.
I think he was 23. Anyway, he always
He's a
gets it wrong.
baby.
He was
Close
a baby. But, I think at that age when you're having he had 3 little kids in his 20s and being young, it's like he was working so hard to like grind and like missing
Right.
so much. I feel like that's what my dad would always say is like with my last 2 kids out of the 9 that he had, he's like, it was almost like they were my grandchildren. And I got to like, I knew better. Like I knew that this was so much more important than like, all the grind. Granted, he still does grind every day, but I feel like he realizes like how fast it's going to go.
Yeah.
Not to answer the question for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think the key here is to always protect your family. I think that's priority number one, is to create a safe environment. I mean, we're pretty safe here in Newport Beach, but I mean, and then being able to teach them, or not only teach them, but give them the values. I mean, show them that there's values that are underlying, in the home, outside the home.
Yeah.
You have a big responsibility raising.
Well, I tell Drew, like, these are the critical years. I promise you'll get your life back and you'll be able to work like every day, all day soon. But I feel like while our kids are this age right now, like they're so dependent on us and we're like really instilling values, instilling just like the basics in them right now is so important. So I'm like, I need you right now. You can have your life back in a couple of years. Like this is
Eventually.
going to be very short.
Yeah.
And then you can go back to being crazy.
Okay, so what is one thing that you hope your kids get from you? Drew, you can go first.
Jeez, that's a loaded question. I don't know. I would rather have like, what would you say?
Way to
This
just
is
throw
hard.
that ball. Yeah.
I know. Okay, let me think. Well, there's a lot of things I wish our kids would get from you. I think you're very like honest in like your feelings and the way you treat people. And like there's 2 sides to that, right? There's if he doesn't like somebody, it's probably pretty obvious. But I like the honesty that you live life with. And I hope that our kids like I want them to do whatever they want to do because they want to do it. Like, I don't want them to be influenced by other people. And I think you're really good at that. Like, it's very easy for me. I can fall into comparison or like, oh, this person's doing this, I want to do that. And you're just very like tunnel vision of what you think is right and what you think is good for you. And I hope that our kids.
That's
I'm
so
very
sweet.
black or white.
Yes, you are very black or white.
I mean, I probably would have said the same thing. It's just like I'm very black and white in the way that I think. And it's probably just because of the way that I grew up in the situation that I was in. And so it was easier for me to just be black and white. And so that just helped me make decisions and kind of protect myself.
Well, and to be sure of yourself is like such a blessing.
Mhm.
That's a gift to be able to be like confident in what your
I was
decisions
talking to
are.
somebody about this the other day. Is like, how early is too early to start talking to your son about being like a leader and not a follower?
Now,
They're like 3.5.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, how do you, but in what way, how are you able to teach them, and obviously by example and everything else, but like, these are all little things, I think that hopefully that they see me lead by example in some of those things and being a little bit black and white, in the way that at least I make decisions or think about certain things. I know it's not always vocal, but a lot
no,
of
I
times.
love that. Okay, Gus, what do you hope they get from you? I'm sure you can also say what you don't want them to get from you.
Yeah, there's two different sides to that. That's for sure. But I think one of the most important characteristics is, is just understanding and learning that life is about going back to where you came from. And, I'm fluent in Arabic. I'd love for my kids to learn a lot more about our, background, our religion, where we came from, where our ancestors came from.
You don't want them stuck in the Newport Beach bubble forever?
Never. No.
Yeah.
Well, you have
very
to travel.
easy.
Okay,
Yeah.
now you have to answer the question. I had to answer it.
Yeah. Gosh. Okay. Oh, I thought that they were answering the question.
No.
So I think more than anything is determination. Like if he puts his mind to something, like he will get it. Said thing being me. No, but I think very determined and disciplined when he needs to be. I think that like it'd be a lot easier to give up at a lot of times.
Right.
And like he is like somebody that's very like, no, we're sticking the course. So I hope they get your determination.
Thank you.
I love
You're
that.
welcome. And they could do it in Palestine if you want.
He's like even better. Great.
Yeah, right?
Okay. What has been your proudest dad moment so far?
Proudest dad moment.
Every day when they say, I love you, daddy.
It's literally melts my heart. The boys now are I love they're crazy at times emotionally, like being able to regulate their emotions, but they're also just at this super fun age where they're starting to be able to vocalize like their opinions and their emotions. And like when even like this morning when I was changing him and stuff, he was kind of throwing a little bit of a fit. He's like, I don't want to go to school. And then we talk a little bit and he kind of snaps out of it. And then he comes back and he's like, I love you, daddy. And he gives me a big hug. And like those little things, I think more than anything else, like transcend everything. But then they're also at the age where they're starting to interact with their friends. And so I think like some of the more prouder moments I've had at this point is like when you see the kids are like, we all get together all the time. And sometimes kids don't get naps or whatever it is. And maybe one of the kids is a little bit off or just like throwing a tantrum, and like just being able to see them either not get influenced by it or try to help them or be like a good friend, and being able to start to see that in little kids, like at 3.5 years old,
wild.
is like that part is wild.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like it's all the little moments. Like when you think of like a proud moment, you don't think of like they're 3.5. It's not like they're up there doing these.
Graduating from high school, going to college.
Not yet, yeah. But I do think it's like the little moments, like what you're saying, that you're watching them do every day. Gus, what about you?
I think hearing my little boy for the first time call me Dada and then tell me he loves me is just breathtaking. Or when I ask him in Arabic to give me a kiss and he reaches over to my lips or cheek and puts his saliva all over me. That's probably my favorite. And then my daughter Zoe is just it even gets better.
Yeah, he was like, okay, I'll give you one child. You can have one kid. I was like, there's no way I'm having an only child. No offense, Drew, but like only children are typically a little off, right?
A little
That's
off,
why he
a little
has
off
3 kids.
sometimes.
I know, like that's why you have 3
I'm
kids,
on the
like
third
single
kid,
children,
too.
like, and I'm not doing that to myself. I'm not doing that to him. Like, there's no way. And I'm like, we're having one more. He's like, it has to be another boy. There's no way I'm having a girl. And like with IVF, I'm like, oh no, we are handpicking this girl right here. This is it. Yeah.
Implant the girl.
And now he's like, what do you say about Zoe?
She's the little princess. She's
She's
the queen.
the love of my life.
Yeah, of course she is.
Replace myself.
She runs this household.
That's right.
She sure does.
Yeah.
Okay, if you guys could pick like one thing that you hope our kids remember from their childhood, what would it be?
One thing. I don't know. I'd hope that they remember being loved and being like, and me being present, because they don't really realize like what's going on around them so much, or like the sacrifices we make as parents either to make certain decisions and set things up for them. But I hope that they just like remember back. Palmer won't know at this point. She kind of understands, but Miller more so at this point. Just feeling love and like the warmth of our family and the way that we are with each other and in the household, I think is
a happy home.
Yeah.
Gus?
That dad was fun.
Fun.
I'm not always fun, but the kid, I think it's important that the kids remember that dad didn't always just work. He was fun. He was outgoing, and just remembering just the best of everything of their childhood.
Not the trauma.
You're way more fun than I am.
I was going to say, I think you're a lot of fun.
You get the
Gus
you
is
get
way
a
more,
2%
Gus is
of.
way more fun than I am.
Oh my gosh.
Well, let's get into
Big
some
reputation.
fun, funny questions.
Speaking of fun, yeah.
Yeah. What's your biggest like parenting fail so far?
Gus, go ahead.
Allowing my daughter Zoe to walk around with no diaper and pooping in the middle of the living room on the
That'll
floor.
do it. That'll do it, yeah.
That's a good one.
I haven't done that. I don't know. Like fail wise, there's always little things that you look back and you're like, "What was I thinking?" I think as a first time parent, especially with the first one,
So many.
the first time
we were
around, there's so
failing
many all
20
the time
times a
where
day.
Yeah.
even
Troubleshooting
just, like,
everything, throwing
troubleshooting,
everything,
like
yeah.
changing Miller and stuff. Like there's one, like you literally pooped all over the wall one day.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. I know. What does it always have to do with poop?
It was on the changing table, but I'm like, this was just.
Lovely experience.
Okay, who do you guys think is the fun parent and who do you think is the disciplinary between you two, Drew?
Okay, you
And
know
does
what?
it change all the time?
It does change a lot, but I thought for sure I was going to be like the more strict one, but I feel like Drew is a little bit more strict than I am, and I tend to be the more like I don't know, not fun, but I'm like more
okay.
forgiving. Like,
Yeah.
Miller, I love you. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Like, it's over
But
there.
I mean, you're with them more than I am probably
Yeah.
too. So, like. When
So I'm probably just getting mad at them all day.
No, but
Yeah.
just like when we have our moments, like when I have a period of time where I'm like, hey, I'm actively going to play with the kids. Like I want to play with the kids and have fun.
Scheduled
and
fun.
like, but it's like
It's
you,
fun
you
time right now.
maximize
Yes.
it.
Don't ruin it.
Because the other time, like we're working,
Right.
or whatever, and
Yeah.
it's like once you get a break or we can help, like that's when you actively try to be fun.
Are
But
fun. Yeah.
in general, I don't like. You're probably more fun than me.
Am I more fun than you?
Who's more fun? Who's the disciplinarian?
I think so. I think I'm the disciplinary parent.
Mhm.
Well, I feel like I'm always like, you're going to confuse these children. Like, we can't go from like, being the fun parent to like really strict discipline, but maybe that's life. But I'm like, we have to be somewhere in between. We can't be these high highs and these low lows. Like, where is the pendulum swinging, mom and dad? Like, where are we going? And
What
like,
are we waking up to today?
Yeah. Well, that's the question for all of us, Taylor. Truly.
Okay, what's something that the kids do that totally melts you? I mean, you said it a little bit with Zane, but
I think every night after it's bath time, all of us lining up at one side of the second, one side of our bedroom, and then running through the hallway to their bedrooms and, allowing one of them to win.
And if it's not Zane,
every
we have
night,
to do it again.
Correct. Yes.
cute.
But
And the dogs.
and they're naked. We are not,
course.
but they are. Yes.
For clarification, we are not.
We do a naked run all the way through that.
Traditions,
Yeah.
family naked run.
Hope they remember that from their childhood. My parents would strip down and
Oh my God.
run naked.
What's something the kids do that melt you?
I don't know. I think I probably already said it, but even just with Palmer now starting to be able to vocalize more and saying, dada and mommy and all these just little things, she's even just like a little parrot sometimes, and she'll like try to mimic what we say. And she's just, I don't know, she just melts my heart too, but she's a little pistol.
I
too.
feel like
It's
for a
she
while,
either is
Drew was like, she actually hates me because she only wanted me. And recently she's totally come around to be like, Daddy,
Aw.
Daddy,
No,
I
for a
love you.
long
Where's
time,
Daddy?
I was
Giving
like,
the wet
wow,
kisses.
this girl, she like is very stingy with her love.
Oh, she's
Oh,
very
really?
stingy with
Stingy.
love.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
very
Zoe wakes
stingy.
up in the morning. If she's up before Gus, which is rarely, she like goes in, dad, and she like opens his covers and like makes out with him. I'm like, and I say to him all the time, you do not deserve this, girl. You do not deserve this level of love that she gives you. She is just like, she does not make him work for it. She like, he could be upset about something. And she's like, I love you, dada. I love you, dada. I'm like, girlfriend, you have got to button this love up. Like
We have got to make them work for
honey,
it.
let me do, yes. Like she is like, yeah.
Oh my God. All right. Well, in closing, we have some rapid fire questions. So you're not done yet, but you're almost done.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the kids' favorite TV show to watch?
No, what is your favorite show to watch with the kids?
Trash truck.
Trash show? Oh, okay.
What's your favorite show to watch? Like if Gus always says he's like that. Look how fast he's like. Can we watch Trash Truck? I'm like, oh my god,
It's a good show.
Zane's like, I'm done with watching that. I don't
I
want to
don't know.
watch
I
it.
love all the Disney stuff. Miller literally rotates through movies like once. Like
through the Pixar and
It's just constant.
You're
So,
just you guys
I
are
just-
such a Disney.
yeah,
I mean,
we're-
if it wasn't
we're like
Disney, I would have been
We're
shocked.
like Disney family.
Yes, you must have stock in the company.
Or Peppa Pig.
I don't. Not
Peppa
anymore.
Pig.
Peppa and Zia, he calls it. It's Arabic for pig.
Do you know that there's a Peppa Pig theme park, I believe, in Texas? Maybe
Please
you guys
don't
could
tell
go.
me that. No.
Okay, what's
We're not
your favorite way to unwind after bedtime after we get the kids to bed?
Watching a show or a movie.
I was gonna say keep it PG. Did you hear that?
I mean, now it's like with the little baby, it's weird that we even get to watch TV after. It's like
Yeah.
race
No,
for-
you are
it's like a race
sleep.
to go to bed.
Yeah.
I feel like right now.
But last
our
night it was
favorite
like
thing would be a
12:30.
show.
Yeah,
It's a show.
Okay, who's more
What
like?
about the red light therapy?
Yeah, love that. There's
Yes,
my husband. See, look at that
yes.
training. Yeah,
Red light therapy.
He was arguing with me something last night, and I turned the red light therapy on, and I was like, maybe this will make him stop talking. It worked.
Oh, and you remembered.
Yeah, I remembered. Okay, who's more likely to cry during a preschool performance, mom or dad?
I am.
Oh,
Me.
Yeah, you think so?
probably
Yeah.
mom. Well, I don't know.
Okay, favorite nickname you've given the kids? Gus, if you do not say your nickname for the kids,
I feel like I know Gus.
we all know it. Yaba.
Yaba, which means
In
Dad in
Arabic.
Arabic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
you call your kid dad, which is also very confusing. When Zoe came out, I said, can't we come up with a different name for her? Yaba is like nothing feminine and like still it's sticking.
No.
What were you going to call him? Bata. He was going to call her Duck and that did not stick. I'm like, okay, well, let's just go with Zozo.
Zozo and Yaba.
I mean,
Yeah.
ours are just versions of their name, I think.
Yeah.
It's just either Mills or Millsy and Palmy.
Mommy.
Palmy girl.
Okay, would you guys rather do diaper duty, like a really dirty diaper, or bath time?
Diaper.
dirty diaper because I want to make sure everything's cleaned up.
Oh my God. I was running an errand the other day. I came back. Zoe's like, no. And then he's like, there's poo everywhere. I'm like, you've got to be. And he's like, well, look at it. And it's out there. The dog's on the other side of the house. Zane's putting his mask on, his garbage truck mask on. I'm like, this is it. Okay. What is the most played song in your car right now with the kids?
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh boy.
Let it go.
Are you going to do a solo?
karaoke.
Yeah,
Yes,
go
you're right.
ahead.
This is the karaoke.
This
man.
is
That's
it. Yeah,
not
let it go.
me.
Yeah.
Or Madonna, just like a prayer.
Well, not for you.
That's for
for
me.
the kids. Okay, well, it could be for you too.
I like that.
Mills is into those marshmallow songs.
Oh my
Oh
God.
yeah, Drew does try to get him on like some sort of artist that Drew likes, so that he can every once in a while in between the Disney songs we can
Like,
like
get one
insert
in.
one.
Yeah.
I try to get him on country or something, so I'm not listening to Disney
Yeah.
all the time. Oh, Drew, I'd love to know this question. If you had a dad uniform, what would it be?
Dad uniform.
Like, what's your favorite go-to outfit?
Just like shorts and a built shirt.
He's like, is this a trick question?
I know.
What do you mean? It's basically what I wear every day.
Well,
I
mine
know.
is a Chanel Couture Runway 2025.
Right.
Yes, like if I needed
Mine's
a
just
uniform.
it's like a built shirt and a melon hat.
Yeah.
Is what I rock.
That's it.
What's your dad uniform?
My hand row underwear.
That's it. You
That's
just want to go.
That's it.
Oh
That
my God,
was a
Gus.
great
You
answer.
wear, you know how much his underwear are? He's wearing like $80 briefs.
Bring some over this way.
I'm like,
Oh,
what
some
are
to
you
donate?
doing? And then he'll be like, oh, those ones have a hole in it. I'm like, why do you get a hole where your balls sit? It's just that's another, we'll do a Valentine's Day special next year for that conversation. He'll like throw them away. I'm like, no, do not throw those away.
No, they're too expensive.
Yeah,
You got to
yeah.
wear them with the hole in it. What's a hidden
That's it.
talent no one knows about? Well, I know your hidden talent.
Oh, the flowers. Yes.
Yeah.
Jeff Leatham over here. I did not realize.
Drew is good at arranging flowers.
Okay, Gus's hidden talent is definitely that he can sing, but it's not hidden because anytime, as you guys know, any chance that he can get, he is on a mic singing.
I love to sing.
It's
You
my,
love to
favorite,
sing.
it's my favorite thing about you.
But the
Yeah.
crazy thing
I mean,
is,
it's
like, you're
lovely.
actually pretty good at
Please
it.
don't encourage it. Whenever you say that, I'm like, don't
You
encourage
always
it.
give out.
Don't
I know.
encourage it. Yeah.
Okay, last question. Dream family vacation.
Dubai.
Like- That's a great
Oh, that
one.
was fast.
I would love to go to Dubai.
Let's go together.
Let's go.
Uh-huh.
I would
Let's
love
do
to go
it.
to Dubai.
We have so
We're
many
done.
tickets that we can use from all your Christmas gifts.
Yes, that's true. Okay, every year at Christmas, I take Christmas very seriously. Like I start shopping in like September. I am like very detailed. Christmas is my thing. One of my favorite parts about Christmas morning is the stockings. Like that has just always been the most fun part. So his stocking is always like so good. And when we were first dating, how good was your stocking?
It was great.
And it was like big. It was like one of the 4-foot ones.
Yeah.
Like he was like, it was almost like embarrassing where I'm like, okay, hurry up and go through it. Like my family's like not wanting to watch you go through this anymore. And then with my stocking, I'm like, you have to fill my stocking. You can't be like Santa is not coming. You are Santa.
You are Santa. Welcome.
So every morning for like 6 years in a row, Christmas morning, we would hear the printer go, and it would print out an itinerary to go to Dubai. And the first year I was like, I'm going to Dubai. Like I cannot wait. Tickets were booked for February. He's like, yeah, I called Bob where we have to, our travel agent, we have to, we're not going in that time.
Bob.
Next year comes around, same tickets. I was like, are these the IOU Dubai?
You got a lot
6
of
years in a
IOUs
row.
back.
Yes,
So,
I asked
wait.
if she can share them, transfer them.
So you got six?
you
So
take
now
my
Gus can
stockings,
also take us.
all to your family.
yeah.
Perfect.
You go through the stockings. It's from 2018, 2019, 2020. Like every year, there's just still in there.
So
He
we're
doesn't
all
even
going
take
to
the whole one
Dubai.
out. So yes, we are all
The
going
only thing
to
about
Dubai.
Dubai is I'm more worried about the flight with the kids. 'Cause
Okay,
that-
even better. The kids are
that's-
staying home.
No, perfect.
Even better.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll bring Louisa to help.
There
with
you
all
go.
this. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, how bad was it?
This. Not
10, 11.
Oh, is it pretty painful?
It wasn't that painful.
It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that painful. It was-
Okay, well, we'll do a part 2 now that we loosened you guys up. You guys have to come to life a little bit.
What do you mean?
Like this was like
Was
hard
this,
for
like,
you
not
guys.
good?
This was
What do you mean?
No, it was great, but it was a little bit like pulling teeth for you guys. Gus actually rather be at the. Would you rather be at the dentist or be here?
Oh, I love the dentist.
You would rather be at the dentist than be here right now.
He's like, can
So
we
there's
stop?
that.
Can we hit record, unrecord? Are we done?
Absolutely. Thank you guys for tolerating us. We love you.
And being here, the people wanted to hear
the
from
people
you.
want to hear. And happy Father's Day.
Happy
Thank you.
Father's
Times
Day.
5.
Love you.
Happy Father's Day times 3.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to Camp Chaos. We hope you enjoyed today's episode.
If you liked what you heard, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review our show. Connect with us on social media at Camp Chaos Podcast. Until next time, campers.